Hello, good morning, folks. Welcome to another video of the Primetime Movie Network. I'm Primetime James Thomas. If you hear some noise in the background, it's the landscaping people mowing my lawn. If you don't hear it, then never mind what I just said. But yes, welcome to another video of Primetime Movie Network. I'm Primetime James Thomas coming at you with another video, and today I want to talk about the awesome trailer of the movie LongLegs. Yes, LongLegs. I know it's a very interesting title to a movie. Sounds like I'm talking about a sexy woman or a venomous spider. Daddy Longlegs. But no, it's a brand new film from the production company Neon that's coming out on July the 12th. 2024. And man, oh man, I gotta say, well, first off, I want to say this: it's not like the first. It was the first. It was the first piece of marketing. I have seen a couple teasers that's been floating out there, very eerie, very creepy. Early in the new year, I think it was like the 5th or 6th of January when they kind of started sprinkling these creepy teasers. You hear this like weird voice. You're like, what the hell is this? It's dripped in mood, atmosphere. The marketing has been terrific. And then, of course, there was a teaser trailer, and then maybe a glorified teaser, which is kind of like a trailer. And then there's this trailer that dropped yesterday. And the trailer that dropped yesterday has given us more of a look at the sort of the story of what LongLegs is about. And the other trailers and the teasers, obviously, you get a sense of what it could be, but you don't really know. But no matter if it was the marketing or, the trailers that they have come out prior or the one that has dropped yesterday, I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you market a horror movie. Now, look, obviously, not every subgenre you're going to market. You're not going to market them right away. LongLegs is a psychological horror film. Whenever you have a psychological horror film, you can market a psychological horror film in a really creepy and eerie and atmospheric and moody sort of ways. Because, it's all about getting in here, your mind, your brain. Because when it comes to the Halloween or Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, or maybe some sort of run-of-the-mill slasher, obviously that calls for a different type of marketing. That doesn't mean you can't, give everything away. It just means that style of feeling and marketing isn't going to be the same, and obviously the type of film that LongLegs is definitely lends itself well to this style of marketing. And so I can't play the trailer here, obviously, but if you go into just look up the LongLegs trailer, it's right there from the Neon Production Company. I'm actually looking into the Bloody Disgusting article. Bloody Disgusting article where it says Neon has been playing the long game with their cryptic marketing campaign for LongLegs for the past few months, but today brings a more traditional, official trailer for the upcoming film. LongLegs heads to theaters on July 12th. Watch the trailer below, which I can't play it here, but you can watch the trailer on YouTube. I think it's like a 2-minute, 12-second trailer. Now, not very long, but it makes the film storyline a bit more clear, but still preserving all the creepy mysteries at its dark heart. Yes, that is key right there. They're not letting the cat out the bag for the upcoming serial killer movie marks. The upcoming serial killer movie marks the return of the director Osgood Perkins, the son of Anthony Perkins, whose father was arguably played, one of the greatest famous serial killers of all time, Norman Bates. The Black Coat's daughter, Griddle, Hansel, Nicholas Nicolas Cage alongside Micah Monroe. Of course, Nicolas Cage is going to play the serial killer, and Micah Monroe, who was starred in one of my favorite horror films in the last decade of It Follows, which apparently they're going to make a sequel. I'm very excited about that. But Monroe playing an FBI agent and Cage playing a serial killer. LongLegs is said to be the vein of classic Hollywood psychological thrillers. The early reviews favorable compared to the 90s classic thriller Silence of the Lambs. Okay. FBI agent Lee Harker Monroe is gifted a new recruit assigned the unsolved case of an elusive serial killer, Cage. As the case takes complex turns, unearthing evidence of the occult, Harker discovers a personal connection to the merciless killer and must race against time to stop him before he claims the lives of another family. Alicia Witt, The Walking Dead, and Blair Underwood, Keith from Set It Off, American Crime Story, also star. The film is rated R. Oh, shit. Give me 1 second. For blatant violence, disturbing images, and some language. Okay, so if you go watch the recent trailer, which again is at the bottom of the Blade Discuss article, or of course you look it up on YouTube. It's right there. Obviously, it feels familiar. It definitely feels familiar in a lot of ways. You definitely get a Silence of the Lambs or a Seven. It has that familiarity to it, but at the same time, it feels new and it feels fresh at the same time as well. And listen, this doesn't mean it doesn't mean the movie's going to be good. It doesn't mean I'm going to like it. It doesn't mean that you're going to like the movie. But in terms of the marketing, and this is what marketing is supposed to do, right? The trailer is supposed to excite you to get to the point where you want to go and watch the movie in the movie theater. That's what every movie wants to do, right? And or if it's on streaming, or whatsoever the case, as long as the movies interest you, you can watch it there as well. But people ask me, James, you still go to movie theaters? And I say to myself, I don't really find myself going to movie theaters that much nowadays. Not because partly because the movie theater experience has become increasingly terrible. But it's just that I just never really had an interest. Like with The Strangers Chapter 1, I've never really had an interest to watch it. I don't care because I look at the trailer and I'm like, it's pretty much a remake of the first film. Like, I don't need to go see this. And according to what everybody's been saying, the movie's not good. But for me, the marketing for Strangers Chapter 1 didn't do it for me. It didn't convince me to pay $15 to sit in a movie theater, eat some soda and some popcorn, drink some soda and eat some popcorn, and no, I'm very picky. I'm very picky now. So in order for me to watch a trailer of a horror film and watch it, and it affects me on a level where I'm like, I need to go see that in the movie theater. I want to pay $15 to see that. Sit down, get some snacks, drink some pop in a dark theater on a 30-foot screen. I want to see that, and LongLegs did that for me. Now, LongLegs already kind of did that in their marketing, but I think this trailer just took it over the edge for me. It's a terrific trailer. It's well cut together. The sound design is great. Now, again, it's a trailer. A lot of the sounds you hear in the trailer aren't necessarily going to be in the movie, right? But this doesn't mean the movie's going to be great. To the whole point of a trailer is the whole point of a trailer is to tell a mini story over 2.5 minutes, and to make it creepy and eerie. But the vibe they're creating, the vibe is consistent with the marketing they've been putting out. The vibe of the trailer is just like how it was in the little teaser trailers from January all the way on. And if you look at the trailer today, there's a clear style and intention with the marketing campaign. It's not like all of a sudden, although the Bloody Disgusting article says we finally got more of our first traditional trailer. Well, yes, of course, obviously, in the sense that we're now getting a little bit more of a story. We're now getting more of narrative. That's true, but it's still creepy as fuck trailer. and you can see it's dripping with terrific mood and atmosphere. And the cinematography is great, and it does remind me of Silence of the Lambs and Seven around that area. And if that's what that's what I'm gonna get, then I'm all for it. I'm all for seeing this movie in the movie theater. And so I encourage everybody. To go check out this trailer. Give me your guys' thoughts on it. Like I said, I would play it here, but YouTube was like, oh, no, you don't, copyright. And the reason why I really dig this trailer is because, again, the mood, atmosphere, not letting everything, not showing your hand in the trailer. It does a great job at that. It doesn't tell you exactly what the movie is about. And I love trailers like that. For me, we're all we're all different type of fans, okay? There's a lot of different fans, okay? You have the fans that are into the slasher genres, the Jason, the Michaels, the Freddys, all that stuff. And I completely get it. I'm that guy too. And then you have the other side of the fans that likes to be, I'm a little bit more high class when it comes to my horror movie watching. I prefer to think, and I get that there's going to be some fans on this channel that's not really going to care for this type of film, but there are going to be some fans that will like this type of film. And for me, it's different show for different folks, right? There are people that really love the psychological, the cerebral, the elevated, and then there are fans that don't really, they want the Jason, the Michaels, like I said, something a little bit more. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I just mean you don't really want to. You want something more lighter, a little bit more traditional, right? Say whether it's a paranormal movie or a slasher film, something that's not cerebral, something that doesn't really make you think. Like I say this with all due respect, because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the color, with the flavor vanilla. There's nothing wrong with the flavor vanilla. But there are a lot of fans that do like their horror a little more traditional, a little more, familiar. And there's a variety of reasons for that. Some say it's age. Some say that, it's experience. You've grown up with horror and all that kind of stuff. And sort of like we don't like, there are people that like the elevated. And that's primarily because, when you get older, like I'm 30 years old, right? And when you get older, like I love slasher films. Y'all know that. All that kind of stuff. Y'all know that I love it. I just can't watch those movies over and over and over again. Or Pedestrian, one of the Mill Blumhouse horror films, over and over again. They're fun. They're great. Again, Abigail. I love Abigail. I loved it. Me and Paul, we just did The Conference. I thought it was a good, fun slasher film. Not saying it was amazing. Not saying it was great. Not necessarily saying I'm not saying I wouldn't watch. I haven't, but it's not really something I really go back to watch again. But I had a good time watching. But there comes for me as a horror fan, my ears perk up and my eyes get really wide when I see something like LongLegs. Because I like, it doesn't have to be a psychological elevated film. I think the term elevated is also, it has been hijacked, it has been exploited unnecessarily and unfairly by horror fans. And I think there are horror fans that get they get a little tight, they get their backs against the wall because they feel the word elevated. And maybe they have a point some ways to some degree, but the word elevated is being used against them as it means that you're too fucking stupid to understand what this movie means. And that's not, in my estimation, that's not the intention behind it at all. Like I hate to bring this movie up. Halloween Ends. They tried to elevate Halloween Ends. And I'm going to say this one more time. I know some things I actually really liked about Halloween Ends. But I just felt like doing it in this particular time in the franchise, in this particular time in the series, didn't make sense to me. But however, there are certain stories that are told that are maybe more complicated for certain people to understand. I don't understand. Look, I don't understand every movie that I watch at all. Like there's a lot of movies that I watch, that I gotta go on YouTube and feel like, oh, what the fuck did that mean? What did this scene mean? What did that thing mean? But I'm just saying, when it comes to the other side of horror with the slashers, when you watch so much of it, the novelty wears off, and sometimes you like to be challenged, and then there's movies that are different layers, different sort of, it's a spectrum, right? There's really deep, complicated, really cerebral sort of storytelling, like in the show Netflix, Dark, right? Yeah, I've watched a couple seasons of Dark, very good show, or Black Mirror for some people. And then you have, the killer, slasher movie, teens, one by one, final girl, end movie. And that's fine too. That works too. But to me, I'm kind of starting to get to that point. Maybe it's because the Halloween trilogy with David Green really, really wore me out. I don't know. I'm just kind of at that point where I'm just can't be in that world anymore. I just can't be in that world. But I mean, I don't mean this in a very condescending way. It's just how I feel right now. And when I see a movie like LongLegs, I'm kind of at that point in my life, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I wouldn't mind this type of horror film. I would not mind it at all. But I will say this about back to the trailer. I love the fact that you barely see Nicolas Cage. Now, I know Nicolas Cage, has a very, interesting reputation when it comes to moviegoers. But I think a movie like this, because we all know Nicolas Cage's style of acting, we all know what he's going to bring to the table. That Nick Cage style, his notorious Nick Cage style, right? From the little bit that I've seen, we don't see him, we hardly ever see him in the trailers. But you kind of hear his voice, how he talks, you can kind of hear how he breathes, how you kind of get to hear his little mannerisms. He comes off really unhinged in this movie. And I'm looking forward to it because unhinged Nicolas Cage is the most entertaining unhinged Nicolas Cage. And I know Nicolas Cage kind of made fun of, for constantly doing movie after movie after movie. But really, some of his movies lately has been pretty good. Like I watched Mandy a few years ago. It's actually pretty good. Like some people kind of sleep on Nick Cage's movies. Okay, like some people kind of sleep on him, and I've never hated Nick Cage. I always found him entertaining, and I think he's going to be great here. In the little bit that you do see him, and it's very little you see him, I think he's going to be great. And Micah Monroe, I've loved her in It Follows. It's great to see her here as the lead. She's always really going to be a good sympathetic figure, a good sympathetic baby face for a horror film. And I just love the little subtle thing they do in the trailer. Like if you see the trailer, you know what scene I'm talking about. When we see this person wearing a black veil over their face, and it's very subtle, but you kind of see like red eyes coming through the veil, right? It's not like it's like boom, right? It's just very subtle, and I love stuff like that. And the movie also says that it may deal with the occult. I want to talk about that really quick before I get out of here. With the occult. Now, from what this trailer looks like, it's going to be very, very grounded in reality. Okay, so if you're going to go the supernatural route, unless you've earned it, you kind of have to keep this grounded. Okay, unless you've earned it, of course. Like, as long as you don't give it away within the first 20 minutes, like shoot all your bullets in the first 15, 20 minutes, sure, fine, go crazy. But from the vibe I get from this trailer, it's going to be very, very grounded, and there's going to be some sort of supernatural like feeling to it, and hopefully they don't make it hokey and cheesy. They make it really, really oddly realistic and very, very creepy how they do it. Because this movie here, I think, has potential to be great. Now, again, I'm not saying hey, I could come here after July 12th and be like, well, it was dog shit. It was terrible. It was not as good as I thought it was going to be. Or I can come up here and say this movie's fucking awesome. Probably the best horror movie I've seen in years, maybe. But from what I've seen, from the marketing, from the trailer, I dig it. I absolutely dig this trailer. And it's probably going to be a day one for me. Definitely going to be a day one for me. But let me know you guys' thoughts on the LongLegs trailer. Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Do you care? Do you not care about these type of films? Do you just rather stick to the whole, give me a killer, give me a slasher, give me some teens in a wood or a house, and slash them all one by one, and let's all go home? Or do you actually like the horror movies that actually make you think a little bit, make you go, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But let me know how you guys feel. Hit that like, subscribe button. And again, don't forget to check out the trailer. Let me know guys how you feel about the trailer. I think it's awesome. I think it's fantastic. It's the type of horror movie that I love. So yes, I'm Proud Time Thomas, Proud Time Movie Network. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.